I'm so fucking mad right now. Like y'all don't understand. Like, y'all really not gonna get it, but you could kind of understand it. You know what I mean? So I do an intro, right? Purchase a beat, use the beat, I chop it up, I score the segments of the video, what parts of the beat I want to be in what parts of the video, right? I do this. Shit comes out magnificent. It comes out better than I thought. The project, this was going to be for a new intro. Project comes out better than I thought. Like way better. Like I think it probably would have been one of the best ones I ever did, if not the best one I ever did. Right? So I do this shit. Like I had them all set. Came out magnificent, B. It almost made my eyes well up how good this shit came out. Right? So I do this shit. What's goody tone? I do this shit, upload the shit. I get a copyright notification. I'm like, copyright? These motherfucking instrumentals are supposed to be available for purchase to anyone. You know what I mean? These instrumentals, they're supposed to, I ain't going to say they bum ass name and get a bum ass song airplay. So I upload my shit. My shit came out fucking beautiful. Like it was beautiful, the shit. Upload the shit. Get the copyright. I'm like, copyright? The fuck you mean copyright? If it's fucking somebody else's shit, I shouldn't be able to buy it. I go to the shit to look up the source material. I listen to this bullshit. I'm like, so wait a minute. You telling me that nobody could use this shit henceforth because of this garbage ass song? See, what happened is whoever made the beat, it looked like somebody made the beat and then somebody bought the shit and then they went to somebody else and copyrighted the shit. In effect, copyrighting somebody else's beat. That's what it looked like because the copyright shit is from a different person. It's not from the DJ that made the beat. I'm like, so the DJ probably don't even know that this garbage ass rapper took their beat, went to somebody else and copyrighted the shit. Like, bro, you're not even supposed to do that. Bung. Hey, what's goody Luis? What's goody Tone? You know what I mean? So, what's goody Sophia? So, upload the shit, see the copyright, go to the song. It's this garbage ass rapper trying to rap. He sound like Silk the Shocker. Like, you not even going to the beat. I could have did better on the beat. Nobody is ever going to pay to hear you rap. No one. Ever. Motherfuckers might pay you to not rap. They should. Motherfucker uploaded the song 2017, right? Motherfucker uploaded the song in 2017. You want to know how many people heard that song? 9 people. 9 since 2017. The beat is exquisite. It's a beautiful beat. It's beautiful as shit. It's magnificent. Nobody could use it because of this fucking guy and his garbage ass song. Nobody could fucking use it. Oh, fuck. Bastard. That shit is certain shit in life that bakes my noodle. Garbage ass rappers is one of them. When I hear a garbage ass rapper over a good beat, that shit, oh my God, oh my God. There are very few things that annoy me. Like, there's just very few. I'm usually real cool, but that, I can't fucking believe. Oh my God. I'm gonna have to talk about boxing at some point because this shit is my blood. I could feel my blood pressure going up. Like, my eyes is starting to hurt because I'm like, yo, I can't fucking believe this shit. You telling me can't nobody use this material now because of this bum ass rapper and his 9 views? Woo! Woo! Hey, what's goody, Daniel? What's goody, El Coto? What's goody, Jeremy? Actual El Coto in the building. Let's talk some Canelo, man. All motherfucking weekend, I've been seeing clips of Mayweather versus Canelo. I never made excuses for Canelo in that fight. Because I'm of the opinion that that was a good victory for Floyd Mayweather Jr., who was 36 years old, the naturally smaller man. I didn't make excuses for Canelo because Canelo was a professional since he was 15 years old. That's basically saying let's do the math. You know what I mean? Because I'm not good at math. I'm good with numbers, but I'm not good at math. But let's see. Canelo was 23 when he fought Floyd. He had been a professional since he was 15. That means Canelo Alvarez was 8 years into his professional career. He had 40 plus fights and he had a belt. So I never made excuses for Canelo Alvarez losing to Floyd. As far as I was concerned, that was a good victory for Floyd over a young champion. No excuses. That is how I've always looked at that. However, the Canelo that is here with us today is a better boxer than he was yesterday. That goes without saying. And anybody equating the Canelo that was 23 to the Canelo that is here with us today, that's 31, that's not the same fighter. You fucking morons. That is not the same fighter. Obviously, he picked up a thing or two since then, obviously. But these guys are trying to act like Floyd beat today's Canelo. No, he beat Canelo. I'm not trying to take that away from Floyd. I'm a fan of Floyd. But it's very silly what happens online with these very insecure people that don't like that Canelo's in the spotlight, that Canelo's doing his thing, that he's pound for pound number one, that he did something that a lot of fighters, some of their favorite fighters, will never do. Errol Spencer's never going to be an undisputed champion. Jermall Charlo, he probably ain't never going to be an undisputed champion either. It's just the facts. It's just the truth. And this dude did this in 11 months, less than a year. And that's why they mad. They identify with the bullshit, with the excuses, with the underachievers. They fuck with Jamal. Like, I don't understand how anybody could fuck with Jamal. Peep this shit. You gonna slap a dude phone that was asking you a question, but when Jared slapped you, you ain't like, where was the energies? Where was the power? Where was the cocaine rush? Because y'all know that he a cokehead. Like, that dude is a cokehead, B. Yeah, that shit got me mad than a motherfucker tonight, Louis. That shit got me mad than a motherfucker tonight, man. Cause the project came out beautiful. It pulled at your heartstrings in a matter of a second. Everything fell in place, gorgeous, wonderful, and I can't use it. I can't use it. Oh. Let's get to some boxing, though. Let's get to some boxing. Yeah, I mean, like, Canelo Alvarez wins this weekend. You go on Twitter, and all you see are clips of Mayweather versus Canelo. And this is obviously from people that are trying to shade Canelo because he's in the limelight right now, because he's doing very good. He's the number one cash cow in America for boxing. He achieved something that was monumental for his people, for Mexican boxing history. Like, yeah, boxing history, but specifically Mexican boxing history. He's the first Mexican undisputed champion in the four belt era. I even think he's the first undisputed champion in the super middleweight division. There's never been an undisputed champion in the super middleweight division. So he made history on a lot of fronts. And instead of just being real and being big, like, yo, Canelo's that dude, B, you gotta respect it. Nah, what you gonna get is guys posting Mayweather clips. Like, man, y'all motherfuckers need to take his dick out your mouth. Real shit. Because if that ain't some old petty ass, bitch ass, hoe ass, just some, you can't congratulate, you gotta be a hater. You the motherfucking belly with the Shirley Temples that was eating a banana? I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit. Remember that hating motherfucker when Bun rolled by? What was X's name in that shit? His name was Bun? What the fuck was his name in that shit? I know he drove by in a car. The guy with the Shirley Temples comes out the salon, and he was munching on a Chiquita banana, and he was like, "I don't like that shit." That's that hating ass shit, man. That's that hating ass shit. Like, some people can't just be happy for people that's doing good. Like, yo, Canelo doing good, B. Motherfucker went undisputed in 11 months. You can't congratulate him. You gotta hate on him. Yeah, that was Buns, right? His name was Buns in that shit. Like, yo, you really can't congratulate this man for doing something that most boxers will never do in their entire career. You can't. Yo, Canelo's that dude, B. The dudes that's posting all these Mayweather clips, I notice a common denominator. These is the guys that picked Caleb Plant to win. That's who they are, and I said it on Twitter. I said it on Twitter. That's the dudes that picked Caleb to win. The ass hats that really wanted to blow smoke up everybody's ass and try to believe in this bullshit. That's who picked Caleb to win. And that's the ones that's posting the Mayweather clips. Because you fucking mad you got it wrong. Appreciate that, Osvaldo. Canelo fight Triple G or Murata in May and Andre versus. You know what I mean? Like, look, Canelo won me over. I got a confession. Canelo won me over. I was very critical of Canelo from 2015 to 2018. The second Golovkin fight won me over because I felt that, you know what? He did enough there that's a legit win. The first fight, I stand by my original opinion. I felt Golovkin won the first fight. I felt that he did enough to win the first fight. But the second fight, Canelo, to me, he did enough to win that fight. But I wasn't sold yet. When he chose to fight Daniel Jacobs right after that, that's when I started really fucking with him. Like, yo, you gonna fight Jacobs? That's a good ass fight. That's a unification match too. Like, all right, Canelo. And he fight Jacobs. He make easy work of Jacobs. He outbox Jacobs. He getting under and around the shots. His work is clean. He looking great. Like, all right, Canelo, I'ma fuck with you and I'ma rock with you and I'ma see what you do. So he has the Fielding fight. I ain't knock it. I ain't get mad at it because it's like, nah, this dude, you know, it's all right, it's all right. He goes up there, he fights Kovalev. I see the critics talking. I'm like, yo, how y'all getting mad at him for fighting Kovalev when your fucking favorite boxer wouldn't dare set one motherfucking toe in the light heavyweight division for Sergey or anybody? None of these fucking guys that they high on, none of them will go up to light heavyweight. Not even for old Sergey. Oh, Sergey, he old. He fucking outboxed later Alvarez and got his belt back. He fucking knocked out Anthony Yard. It was people picking Anthony Yard to knock him out. He fucking knocked out Anthony Yard. But he old. Well, I'll tell you what, if he's so fucking old and he's such a fucking cherry, why your man don't go up there and fight his ass then? Why it took Canelo to do that? Why the dude that you fuck with couldn't do that? The name of Kovalev, even at 36 or however old he was, is better than anything on Jamal's resume. What's better, Kovalev at 36 or Juan Montiel right now? Kovalev at 36 with a WBO title or Brandon Adams? Kovalev at 36 with a WBO title or Sergey Didivianchenko off a loss to Gennady Golovkin? That dude been at middleweight for 4 years, B. It don't feel like it, but that dude been up there for 4 going on 5 years. This shit is crazy. This shit is crazy. They can't let that man rock. They can't let that man shine. You can't just be happy for that dude. Like, yo, he did it. Yo, he fucking became undisputed. Nah, you got to shade that dude, right? Be on your bitch shit. It's all right because this the shit. And this is what I didn't say in any of the videos that I have uploaded regarding this subject. The motherfuckers that's criticizing him cannot take no money out his pocket because they don't put no money in his pocket and they don't put no money into boxing. So whatever the fuck you say and whatever the fuck you think don't matter. You can say that shit to somebody that's willing to listen to you. I'm not. I'm gonna laugh at you. But you could say that shit and you could make videos about that shit and see if somebody want to watch that shit. And maybe somebody will. But what won't happen is you can't affect his paper. You can't affect how the rest of the boxing world look at that dude. Like, hey, dude's the man. Let him be the man. What? Well, you got a problem with him being a man? What's your problem? Yeah, I seen Sinisa gonna be there. Shout out to Sinisa Estrada. Shout out to Joe Cool Estrada, one of the nicest people. Always giving me good information and shit. You know what I mean? It's a lot of little bullshit that goes on that bakes my noodle. Little bullshit bakes my noodle. Petty shit, like bitch shit. Like you can't just let that dude shine. It's his moment. You know what I mean? This is his moment. You can't let him have that. But then again, I know what they gonna say. They're gonna bring up somebody like motherfucking Tank that don't want to fight shit. As if anybody was really excited over the Romero fight. As if anybody's really excited over Isaac Cruz. Motherfuckers is dead ass running around here pretending to be excited about these bum ass fights because that's how petty motherfuckers is. Jay, what it do?
It was good, Ring. It was cracking, cracking.
Let me read this super chat, bro. If Charlo moves up and I'm a Canelo fan, I make him fight legit competition before he gets a shot. I'm gonna tell you what, Jaime. I would prefer that Charlo is next so that Canelo can knock his ass out. Because I'm telling you, bro, I'm seldom ever confident like that somebody gonna get their ass beat, and he'll get his ass beat. Like he will. So we could just kill the speculation. Like, just give it to Charlo, bro. That dude is not good, B. He basic, straight up and down, 1-2 fighter. Don't even crack that hard. Guys like Montiel is not supposed to be seeing the 12th round. That's just reality. You know what to do, man. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that bothers me, man.
I'm with you. I'm like, hey, it's like, since he wants to be a little a bitch like that and slap people's phones out of their hands for asking the questions. I'm like, I'm telling you right now, like I ain't no fighter, nothing like that, but don't do no shit like that to me. I don't give a shit who you is. You know what I'm saying? Don't be slapping shit out my fucking hands.
I dig that shit. I dig that shit. But what bothered me about it is that he always been fake tough. He always been. You went to New York and 2 girls got you, B. Cut that tough shit out, B.
Man, Danny Jacobs ran up on you and your whole crew by himself.
Thank you.
You
Thank
seen
you.
that
Thank
by
you.
himself.
The whole energy, the whole air got sucked out the room, and Danny was chilling like, oh, I've been looking for you. Smooth with the shit, like room temperature Hennessy. Smooth. I've been looking for you. What you mean I ducked you? And he over here like, he made that, you know what look he made? Charlo made that look. You ever had a dog and he shit on the carpet and then you go to him? That's the look, like, roo? Like, you like, come on, B. Like, cut that shit out, man.
Nah, this whole weekend, Jules, this just showed how far the game has fallen from boxing to NBA. Did you see the dude, Marquise Morris? He pushed Jokic. He tried to hard body Jokic last night, walk away like shit was sweet. Jokic, a Serbian, went up on him in the back and pushed his ass like, what's up?
I dig it. Like, motherfuckers out here is like, look.
Like, these Americans think these foreigners are soft.
Nah, that's what I'm alluding to. That what's really going on, and I'm gonna say this because most people have not been around or paid attention to realize the effect that the wall coming down and the Iron Curtain opening had on the rest of the world. You start seeing cats that you would not see them. Like, really, Rocky IV is a motherfucking prediction, B. Because that's what happened. When the Iron Curtain came down, what happened? Drago come to America. What he do when he come to start busting motherfuckers' asses, B? That's what happened. All right, now you look at the last couple of years of boxing, Uzbekistan, Kuzmunistan, Uzdudistan, Snickenstan, Happenstans. It's guys from the woodworks coming up, B, fucking people up. And you think that they soft because they not from your punk ass
like
block.
Zach Randolph said from the NBA, he's like, bullies get bullied. What's up?
Real shit.
Just the whole weekend, Jules, from Caleb over there in the middle of the fight, not trying to win. Like, what do you think of me? Motherfucker, you a grown-ass man at 29 years old.
God. Remember we was talking
then
about Drew?
Tank saying Canelo like him at 68.
Remember we was talking about Drew that this dude, you gonna show your little trailer. Oh, because your little trailer is worse than that shit south of the border.
You got Plant doing that shit. You got Tank acting like he Canelo. You got Tio over there running with his belts like it's fucking take your stuff to show and tell today at fucking school. That's the American boxing scene.
My God.
That's the American boxer.
I said this in the last live, So you telling me when you left the hotel to go to the fight, because you obviously went through a hotel, you got to unpack your shit, unless you rolling around with all them belts in the car. You know, but remember, you coming from home. So if you coming from home, you taking the belts to the airport. Then from the airport, you putting them in the car. From the car to the hotel room, from the hotel room to the car to the fight, bro. Who brings day belts to the next dude fight?
You know what's funny though? He looks so desperate. Every post he makes, he's tagging like a celebrity. He's tagging beats by the desperation is like crazy,
Rick,
Jules.
did you guys hear what his dad
Promoting
said? Did you guys hear what his dad said? His dad said, talk about, he called Betty Reynoso asking if they could come over there, talk about like, oh yeah, we could pose for the Mexican people with the belts, and then he's like, oh yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Yeah, so you can come on by and do it, but dude, I'm like, you a fucking liar, you a damn lie. You ain't calling his ass up.
To me, you was trying to steal. To me, you
Clock
trying
chase.
to ride
He's
Canelo.
trying to clock chase
trying
Canelo.
to ride Canelo wave and still hit. Because I never seen a fighter show up to somebody else's fight with they bet. Legitimately, I never seen
Teofimo was being a mark for himself.
Bro, that dude is something else, B.
Bro, Tank had taken over as bonehead of the day, tweeting that Canelo shit, and then Tio takes the cake by showing up there with the belts.
Yeah, but you know why Tank shit didn't bother me? Because you've been full of shit for so long. None of the dumb shit you do surprise me anymore. Feel me? Like none of the stupid shit that him and Leonard say. It's like, yo, y'all some idiots, B. Nobody, look, for real, nobody fuck with y'all. Like on some real facts, like nobody fuck with y'all like that. You got Mike Copinger lying about fucking pay-per-view numbers, B. Because nobody fuck with y'all like that. That's facts. You could talk about your cheap
Coppinger can't even admit that which number was bigger, Leo or Barrios? Come on,
Cop. Bro, I seen when they was pressing him. I seen the day he announced those numbers. They was pressing him on Twitter like, yo, hold up. You said that the Santa Cruz numbers was 225, but now you saying that this pay-per-view outperformed that one, but this pay-per-view is 215. So you probably lying about all of that shit, and it's probably not even. Bro, if you want my honest opinion, I got a number that somebody told me, and it wasn't 2. It was 170. That's the number that I was told, and that's the number I still, because it makes sense. Like, yeah, man, they don't fuck with this dude. Who really fuck with Tank like that?
Did you see after the fight, Coppinger and Mannix had the drafts ready for pushing the Triple G fight?
Of course.
They had that. I mean, financially wise, yes, it's a fucking common sense that fight brings in a casual fan. But it was just crazy how they was ready for DAZN and Eddie Hearn to go just throw that out there right after, not even a minute after the fight.
I'm gonna tell you what. Look, I'm gonna tell you what. Right, if he fought Triple G for a third time, not only would I be like, yeah, go ahead, Canelo, do what the fuck you want to do because you fucking deserve it, right? But what I want you to do is tell these motherfuckers, yo, listen, David, Charlo, if one of y'all want to fight with me, y'all need to fight each other. I cleaned up a weight class in 11 months. You understand that? I won all the belts in 11 months. Y'all need to fight. The same way that he told Andre something that he didn't want to hear, right? You need to tell him, like, yo, look.
You're a horrible fighter. Horrible.
I'm just, and look, I like Andre, but I'm just saying, like, Canelo is on his gangster shit, right? Yo, tell these guys, yo, listen, Charlo B, I'll fight you if you beat David. David, I'll fight you if you beat Charlo. Make the fight.
Floyd used to do that. You had to beat Berto to get a fight with him.
You know what I mean? Like, to me, what bothers me about it is the bullshit has to stop. They keep expecting the guys that's doing the most to do the most. And the guys that ain't doing shit, they don't expect nothing. You don't expect nothing to Charlo. You really going to sit here and let this man fight Montiel when Andre offered him $7 million? And y'all just going to let him do that? Fucking wild out here. What's good, Leo?
Hello, Julius.
I'm terribly vexed. I'm on one tonight. I don't know if y'all heard what I said at the beginning of the video, right? I make this beautiful fucking project, right? It's fucking beautiful, this shit. It was gorgeous. I used this instrumental. I chop up the instrumental. I score the project. Shit comes out better than I thought. It was beautiful. Like, you would have cried if you seen this shit. It was so beautiful, right?
Oh, was that theme music that you had at the beginning?
Man, please don't talk about it, bro.
My bad.
Let me vent, bro.
Go ahead,
Please
man,
let me vent.
My fault. Go ahead, man.
Hey, so I do the shit. I get a notification. Oh, you can't monetize because it's a copy. I'm like, copyright. I go to the fucking source material. Why is some garbage ass rapper rapping over the beat and being awful? and not even going to, like, bro, I could rap better than you. You'd have been better off giving me the beat, and I'd have did a better song than you.
Oh.
I was so fucking furious off that shit. That's why I had to come on live to decompress. Because I'm like, yo, you really telling me that can't nobody use this wonderful instrumental because of this bum? Oh, oh my God. Let me address Juggernaut. I'm gonna address Juggernaut real quick. Yo, Juggernaut, Canelo's weakest opponent would still be the best name on Jamal Charlo's resume and David Benavidez's resume. Stop me when I tell a lie. The weakest name, the weakest guy, which would be Caleb Plant for me, would be the best name on David Benavidez's resume. Would be the best name on Jamal Charlo resume. I don't even know if Jamal could beat Caleb. What y'all think?
No. Absolutely not.
Nah, I don't think so.
Because remember, Canelo knocked him out. Jamal is the dude that couldn't knock out Brandon Adams.
Or Juan Montiel.
Or Juan Montiel. Like, bro, you couldn't knock out Sergey. Sergey had not fought in a year, and he was coming off a war with Gennady. And you couldn't knock him. You couldn't even knock him down. Danny knocked him down. Gennady knocked him down. Jack Coquet gave him a good fight. You couldn't knock him out after all that. You could not knock him. Like, nah, B. You ain't.
You know what, Ring? I'm with you. I hope Jamal gets the fight next. I mean, I'm looking forward to Canelo starching him.
That's why I want him to get the fight, because he ain't shit. Like, he's a cherry, bro. To me, Jamal, at this point, Jamal Charlo is a cherry. Shout out to Luis. Exactly. Shout out to Luis Puente, who says, at 168, how do you see Canelo Benavidez going, bro? Someone else said this, so I have to give them the credit because they characterized it the best for me. It gives me Oscar De La Hoya versus Fernando Vargas vibes. That's the vibe it gives me. They're like, it'll be a fight, and he'll try, but you got to be real. Resumes matter. Opponents matter. Experience matters. David is
skills matter.
And skills matter. David is a big, strong kid. It's not that he's not a threat. I view David as more of a threat than Caleb and Jamal. I'll say that. But at the same time, you ain't been in shit. The toughest
here's a hot take. David Benavidez against Canelo is just not a weight drain Chavez Jr.
Look, you could make that argument. I think
that's all that is.
I'm gonna say this. The toughest fight he ever had was Ronald Gavril.
The first fight, right?
The first one. That was the toughest fight I ever seen him in, was Ronald Gavril. So when the toughest fight you ever had is Ronald Gavril, you know what I mean? Like, it's like be real. Like, the only reason they looking at him is because he's big and because he could punch. And Callum, it's like they just got a thing where these cats that criticize Canelo got a thing to where they looking at everything through a filter. Callum is big. Callum could punch. You understand? Now, I'm not saying that Callum is better than, even though he got a better resume. But I ain't gonna say all that. But I'm gonna say you have already seen Canelo in there with bigger guys than him that could punch. You've already seen that.
I mean, do you like Callum with Buddy McGirt in a couple fights with David at 175? That's a good fight.
Man, yeah, but David ain't gonna take the fucking fight.
No, I know, but like just style wise, like he'll give David all he can handle.
I think a lot of things because, and I don't like running with the things that I think because I know that's what a lot of people do. But I'm gonna say that I feel like David could be regressing. I feel like David don't even need to be at super middleweight right now because you've been there for years, bro, and you young. I know your body growing. I know that weight is hard to make. There's a picture of David on his Instagram where he looked like a fucking cruiserweight.
Didn't he turn pro light heavy? I swear he did.
And that notion that Canelo ain't gonna fight a Mexican, that's bullshit. Canelo will fight a Mexican if a Mexican brings something to the table.
Yes, he will. Exactly.
No, but it ain't even that. It ain't even that. It's that they don't respect. Remember, Floyd, and I stand by this. Floyd earned the right to choose. Manny earned the right to choose. And you telling me that after all this, 4 divisions, by 7, 8 active reigning world champions, undisputed in 11 months. In 11 months. Triple G was singing that song for years. He never went undisputed, right? Undisputed in 11 months, unheard of, right? Right? And You can't like he gotta like, man, you know what? Shut the
Because
fuck up.
Canelo can fight a cab
I'm
driver. I would
saying
complain.
because it's a white boy summer. Fury got the win, Usyk got the win, and Canelo up there. What do they look like? Come on.
I dig it, but I'm
For
like,
that
look,
small, I'm speaking specifically to that small niche that's doing this with Canelo. That's the reason that they're fucking tight. That's why they showing Floyd after every Canelo fight the last 5 years.
Luis Puente, I'm gonna say, Luis Puente asks, is Ryan Garcia lagging on fighting to get out of Golden Boy? I don't think that's what's going on. I think that he's looking at, you look at a fight with Javier Fortuna or a fight with Jojo Diaz, right? Those is risky fights for him because he got dropped by a non-puncher in Luke Campbell. If Luke is a good boxer, by the way, but he's never been a huge puncher or even a big puncher. He was never that. And if a guy like that could chin you and drop you, that make a Javier Fortuna a tough fight. It's more trouble than it's worth, those fights. And that's what I feel is going on. Now he'll look at them fights like, damn, this is who's out there. This is who I gotta fight, but it's not worth it. It's not, I'll fuck around, get beat. It's not worth it. You talking about a dude. I'm gonna let you go, Leo. You talking about a dude that in the last 2 years has only fought 2 times. Go ahead, Leo.
I want to say something about Canelo.
Go ahead.
I think, look, if the fans ask for a quote unquote better fight for Canelo, it's okay, because for me, Caleb Plant being undisputed is a huge accomplishment. But I knew he was gonna win that fight by KO. I knew he wanna beat Billy Joe Saunders. I knew he wanna beat this guy, Callum Smith. At like heavyweight, there are bigger challenges. Fans has the they have the right to ask. What I am sick of, tired. I'm tired personally. Is all these guys talking about Canelo, and after 20 words, they have to mention Floyd.
Yeah.
No, it will go Floyd. Floyd is cool. I mean, that is what makes him the fighter he is. It's not about Floyd anymore. It's not. It's about Canelo.
Yeah. I agree.
Like,
I agree.
Like
I agree.
talking about Floyd in Canelo's career is like, I don't know. It's like talking about politics and mentioning Trump after 20 words. The guy is retired. Let him be.
No, but you know why they do it, Leo? They do it because they see that the kid is doing well, and they don't want him to be doing well. If they were smart, which they're not, because these is the same goofy motherfuckers that actually pick Plant to win, right? If they were smart, you know why you big up Canelo? Because you indirectly big up Floyd if you big up Canelo. But like a bitch, like the bitches that they was raised to be, well, they wasn't raised, which is why they bitches. That's another story, right? You gonna hate. You can't congratulate. You can't. There's people, right? They can't be happy for nobody because they not happy with themselves. So they gotta hate. It's that's why when I seen the shit on Twitter, I'm like, yo, those is insecure people, right? Insecure dudes that they gotta hate that kid because he not from over here. They don't identify with him, right? They don't like him. They don't like his folk. You know what I mean? That's what's going on. Let's call it what it is. That's what's going on. They don't like him. They don't like his folk. They don't identify with him because he don't represent them. They gonna hate on him. Motherfucker could have been from fucking Mars. If he go undisputed in 11 months, yo, you a bad dude, B. Motherfucker could have been from Neptune. I'd have been, yo, that's a bad motherfucker from Neptune, man. He went undisputed in 11 months, B. I never seen that. That's some other shit I ain't never seen. He made history. You can't be happy for him. You can't be happy for his folk because you're not happy with yourself. You know you a bum. You know you was raised like on some bitch ass shit, and you go through your day-to-day doing petty bullshit, bum shit. That's because that's the motherfuckers I see doing it. Dusty motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Dusty looking motherfuckers. That like, why you gonna be mad at him? Let him do his thing.
By the way, the ring about that. Quick question. Got to pick your brain on something.
Go ahead.
If Canelo was to go up to 175, who do you think he's got a good chance against?
All of them.
Oh, really? All?
I'll tell you why.
Please.
Remember the timeline, because I base it on reality, not if he went up there now, because he's not going up there now.
Mm-hmm.
In all likelihood, he's probably going to have one more fight at 168, right? He has one more fight at 168. That means he probably don't go up to 175 till the end of next year. By the end of next year, Artur better be, which I think is the biggest threat to him, a big, strong pressure fighter that don't need space to generate knockout. Because he don't. He can knock you out in the pocket. He can knock you out.
Yes, he could. Damn there, right? When any punch he throws, damn there.
Everything he throw is like a cinder block. But he's going to be 37. He's going to be 37 next year in January. I know that because I looked up his birthday to see how old is this motherfucker and how much older is he going to be by the time Canelo fights him. He'll be 37 by the time Canelo fights him. And Canelo won't fight Artur the way that he fought Caleb and Callum and Billy. What he'll do for Artur, he'll fight him like he fought Danny. Move, stay off the line, get under the hooks, box, and make him miss. Because this dude is not used to this. I know that. He's not used to this. He is not used to.
Do you think that he could knock Artur out? Or he'll beat him on point? You think he could?
No, I'm serious, yes. I'm not even, no cap. Artur is not used to getting hit clean. That's why he
was dropped by Callum Johnson, right? He put him down heavy.
He's dropped by Callum. He's dropped by Callum Johnson. A couple of years ago, he was dropped by Jeff Page.
And moving forward, Ring, what does that just say? He cleans out 175, becomes undisputed. What does that do for him in terms of his legacy?
I mean, to me, look, you want my honest opinion, bro? And I'm gonna say this: the boxing nerds, they're not gonna like this. The boxing nerds not gonna like it.
That's why I asked you.
Canelo is the greatest Mexican fighter. I don't care. Like, see, this is the shit, right? I love Marquez. I love Marquez, B. But knocking Pacquiao out don't make you the greatest Mexican fighter. Chavez, I grew up on Chavez, B. That was my guy when I was a kid. Chavez.
Were they ever undisputed? They were never undisputed, were they?
Never undisputed. 4-division champion, 8 active world champions, beaten, undisputed. No, not Chavez. Look, there's shit in Chavez's resume, and I say it all the time, that would not even be allowed in today's day. It wouldn't be allowed. A guy with an 0-1 record, while you over here with 80-something fucking, it wouldn't even be, nobody would sanction that shit. Nobody. There's shit in these fighters that people like to romanticize a lot in their records that would not be allowed. It's like I used to be on Facebook more than YouTube, right? Common argument that used to happen. Rocky fucking Marciano. And I'm like, look, I'm not knocking Rocky Marciano. He was good for his time and his legacy is fine, but he's not fit for no time machine fight because Rocky in the 80s he'd be too little. Too little for Larry Holmes. He's too little. He'd get figured out. Like, look, a super fight that I think would have been a super fight in a time machine. Joe Frazier, Rocky Marciano. Who do I pick to win the fight? Fucking Joe Frazier. Sorry. I'm sorry. He's too little. The average weight of the guys that Rocky fought, you know what it was? 175.
Yeah, they were like heavyweights and cruiserweights, weren't they?
Yeah. They were 175, 179. Maybe just a little under 200, maybe just a little over 200. You know what I mean? It's a lot of romanticizing in boxing.
Yeah, the same thing. The same thing when they try to match Ali with like Klitschko or Lennox. Like, come on.
I'll say this. Ali is effective to a point. If you tell me Ali versus Klitschko, if you talking about Cassius with the feet, I'll go Cassius. If you talking about Cassius with the
Are we talking Vitaly or Vladimir?
Vladimir, right? I could. If you watch the Corey Saunders fight, and I advise everybody watch that fight. Yeah, Vitaly won the fight, but don't think it was one-sided. It wasn't. Corey gave him problems too. Corey had him on his back foot, and Corey is not a big guy as far as heavyweights of that era. Corey was not a big guy at all. Like he wasn't our level to Vitaly at all. All right. So when I see that the height didn't bother him, the jab didn't bother him, the movement that he was still coming at him. Like, Cassius could be competitive with that guy. It's not a foregone conclusion that Cassius would lose.
Be competitive. That's where I get though with I can't. It's hard for me to compare 15-round guys to the 12-round guys.
But that's the other thing, Drew.
That's the hard
remember,
part.
Cassius and Ali because I break them down into two separate careers because they were two different fighters. But both Cassius and 15-round fighters, bro. 15-round fighters. So if we talking about a time machine, are we talking about a 15-round fight? Because I always bring this up.
Because Jules, even in those eras, Jules, from the early 19th century to about the 60s, they judge and they ref different. They let them get away with a whole lot more shit.
Of course.
The rules changed.
The rules changed. Billy Khan, by today's standards, he beat Joe Louis. How do I know? After 12 rounds, he was up on the cards. It wasn't until the 13th that Joe knocked him out. It's a different sport. Those was tough guys. They wasn't as big as these guys, but those were some tough guys.
Bro,
yo, look.
And when Sugar Ray Robinson was 20, he fought 20 times in that year.
Bro, Sugar Ray Robinson in today's welterweight division beats probably everybody. Am I capping?
I mean, how many fights did he squeeze in on his European tour? I mean, I lost like a bunch.
Bro, from the time Sugar Ray was 20 to 25, he had 61 fights.
Bro, Marvin Hagler had I think he had like damn near 40 fights or a little over 40 before he even got to sniff a world title fight. The Antifermo fight.
You know, I never forget what Joe Frazier told him. Remember, he said he got 3 strikes against you. 1 you're a southpaw, 2 you're black, and 3 you're good.
It's the
I brought up the point today. Like Marvin Hagler asked, what Plant Denver Canelo was like. Hagler asking Duran, "And what do you think of me when you got your first big fight?" Like the fuck,
bro. I seen that shit, and I'm like, yo, you see that goofy? You see how goofy that shit sound? That's your generation, in a nutshell.
Like, why are you talking to this man? Why are you talking to this man?
No, talk. If you feel like talking, talk, but talk some shit. You over here looking for approval. And
I'm not bad for 20. I'm not bad for 20 0, huh?
What, right? You like that shit? You want to get some steak later?
Like, what are you, a fan?
Yeah, no, like someone tried to compare that to Ali. Ali was talking shit in the ring. He was talking shit.
He was like, "Yo, is that all you got?" You know what I mean?
Remember how he did? Ernie Terrell. What's my name?
But Caleb, did they validate your parking? They validated mine.
It's like Conor McGregor said. Caleb was just happy he got the red panty knife from his wife. They got the retirement check. Thank you, Canelo. That shit was like, let me not try to grab glory and get a $20 million payday
because
and a $30 million payday after this.
We talked about this with Ronnie. Shout out to Ronnie. We talked about this. Al is not grooming fighters. These are disposable assets that he cashes out when a fighter that someone else built comes over. He cashed out Broner. He cashed out Thurman with Manny. With Canelo this weekend, he cashed out Caleb. And he probably want to cash out. Jamal Charlo.
And David might be next. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean,
look, Caleb Plant. The gimmick was out in the ring. He was saying like, "No, this is out another opponent for me." In the ring, he was fanboying the fuck out. He was a fanboy.
You heard him. I'm pretty good for 21-0, right?
It was a good fight. It was a good fight, huh? Yeah.
You want to come to my birthday party? It's a good fight, right? I'm all right. Bro.
I can imagine Caleb Plant 5 years ago watching Canelo Alvarez videos and showing his friends, "Look, this guy is the shit. He's a fucking shit. This guy is a fanboy of Canelo."
Who was Mexican and Panamanian? I don't know who we talking about. Oh, you talking about Duran? Yeah. You're right. He is. You're right. He is Mexican and Panamanian. Most people don't know that. Most people think he's just Panamanian, but he's both.
Oh, snap, is he?
Yeah. He's both.
Okay, I thought he just. I was one of those, but I thought he was just Panamanian.
Because he repped the Panama joint real hard, but he's half Mexican. Yeah, like most people don't know that.
Oh, snap. Okay.
He got a fucking son, man. He got a son look just like him though. And most people don't know that.
He's in my Mount Rushmore.
He got a fucking son, man. Yo, who got two fucking?
He's in my Mount Rushmore, man. That was vicious.
I mean, like, it's not like, look, they don't make. You know what? It's not even that they don't make fighters like that no more, because that's not true. It's that those kind of fighters, they don't get the opportunities. That's really what the difference is. I'll say that. You got if you got a fighter that he got that man. Yo, they gonna part around that dude like a river around a rock. Ain't nobody gonna want to fight you. And if you ain't got a fan base behind you that incentivize even fighting you, you gonna get shelved, B. They ain't trying. Bud, for example, Crawford, he beat. I'm telling you, I think he would have cleaned out that whole stable. Sean, Keith,
And what's sad is
Danny.
Crawford's the only American fighter that wants to prove that shit.
Yeah,
He wants to be
because
undisputed. He wants to be undisputed.
They don't
he doesn't care. He wants to go out. He's like, I want to go toe to toe if I have to.
they don't understand. Al has, to me, what he's done to them is he has separated finance from legacy when finance and legacy go hand in hand. Because all the financially big fighters, the big ones like Oscar, like Felix, like Manny, even Floyd, they were legacy guys.
George Foreman is a fucking legacy fighter sitting on the million. He wouldn't have got that motherfucking Foreman grill deal if he didn't have a legacy.
If he didn't fucking come back, he never had to come. He wanted to. He wanted to come back at 30-something years old.
And made history in the process by becoming the oldest heavyweight champion.
Peep how wild it is that George had a whole motherfucking career, right, before he even decided to come back. Now, you got guys like Keith. You got guys like Jermall. Look at Jermall's resume, right? He's 31. Jermall is 31. He act like a fucking child, but he's 31 fucking years old. And realize George already had a career, right, and left. He comes back. He has a whole nother career. And if you compartmentalize both of those careers and separate them, any one of those careers is better than Jamal's. Any one of the one from before and the one after he came back when he was 36, 37 years old. Any one of them shits.
I harp on that shit, but it's crazy. Like, that's why when we see these old fighters at the fights, they get so much love. They get rushed. Like, that's just not gonna happen for this era of fighters, and they know it.
Bro, look at Keith, right? Keith, it's like, yo, you an American Terry Flanagan. You fought a little bit better guys than Terry, but like, yo, compare where would Keith Thurman fall in the all-time great welterweights of all? Where would he fall?
He wouldn't fall at all.
Bring Obakar and Prime Ike Corte. They're watching this PBC fucking roster.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, yo, if you think about Errol, for all these conversations that we have had about the Crawford fight and the right? Just look at what's there, right? Realize this man is close to retiring. That's the first thing you need to realize. The second thing you need to realize is look at what he's done so far and ask yourself, Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard, elite welterweights, all these welterweights of ever, right? Where the fuck does Errol fit into that picture?
Sugar Ray Robinson would kill some of these guys in the ring.
I'm literally.
And you Sugar Ray,
Henry Armstrong will run through these 147 dudes.
It's like the Duran that fought Leonard in the first fight beat these dudes. He beat these dudes.
And Duran was in his 30s already. Duran was already a Hall of Famer.
That's what I'm like. He already had a Hall of Fame career before he got the welterweight. He gets the welterweight. He has about 8 fights before the Leonard fight. Get the time machine, goddammit. Start it up. Put Duran in there with Keith Thurman and see if he don't catch a body.
Jules, after No Mas, he had another Hall of Fame run going to 160 and 154.
But that's not. I'm fair, and I don't look at Duran and say, that every lightweight should, go up the welterweight, or every lightweight should go up the, because that's a part of what made him that he was able to go to middleweight and have a competitive fight with the guy at that time. Do you think that these guys at welterweight right now could go to middleweight and be no?
But that's the caveat of greatness. Like 160, if you weren't a heavyweight, 160 was always the division where, like, okay, if you can conquer this division, you the king of the smaller guys.
Yeah.
You're independent. Not 147. It was always middleweight.
Well, it was a sequence to glamour weights, 135, 147, 160. If you were a welterweight in that era, there was an expectation that you'll go to middleweight. If you're a welterweight in this era, you got junior middleweight right there for you to, for you to rock out. You know what I mean? You got you ain't got, because Could Danny Garcia go to middleweight?
Oh hell no.
For me, it's simple. For guys like Leonard and Duran, were in the stage like they are now, they left a bunch of boxers behind,
Yeah.
a bunch of them, and these guys don't want to be that boxer left behind.
No. I mean, to the
Yeah,
point
and
that
like even for Leonard, I have a caveat. Like Leonard gets through my caveat of being an all-time great with less than 40 fights because he was a 15-round fighter. And you look at all the fights he had before he was 28 years old with who he fought.
Now wait, he got under 30, you know, because it's true. Leonard don't, surprisingly, if you look at Leonard's record, he doesn't have a whole lot of fights. He doesn't.
But I give him a pass because he's a 15-round fighter.
But I tell you that Donnie Lalonde is better than beating Sean Porter. Oh yeah. For a fucking welterweight to go up to super middleweight. Really, what was it? Did he go up to super middle or did he go up to light heavy? I can't remember.
Super middle.
It was super middle. He went up to, but he's a welterweight that went up to super middle
and knocked his ass the fuck out.
And beat a champion. And he wasn't. Donnie Lalonde was not little. You know what I mean? Like Donnie was statuesque for the weight.
Yeah. Be real, Jules. If you had a Hall of Fame vote right now, none of these dudes fit that criteria.
None of them.
If we're being real, based on the sanctity of the shrine, none of them dudes are Hall of Fame fighters.
There's only 4 guys that get through: Usyk, Crawford. I would have put Loma, but it didn't work out, bro. It didn't work out. You know what I mean? Maybe you could turn it around. So it's Usyk, Crawford, motherfucking Canelo. Taylor got my eyeball on him because he's making history for Scottish boxers. And I'm not worried about America. I'm not worried about what the Americans think. I know that for his people, he is doing things that have not been done. That makes him special. That makes him Hall of Fame. He's the only Scottish champion who became an undisputed champion in a 4-belt era.
Less than 20 fights.
Less than 20 fights. He's a bad motherfucker. On the road. All right? That is shit that it's easy for Americans to look at the lineage of boxing and take it for granted. But for a fighter like Taylor, and that's a nice super chat. Appreciate that, Napoli.
And because we didn't really invent the sport.
No, we didn't. The Marcus of Queensberry rules is from where? The UK. As far as history's most avoided fighters, one guy that comes to mind is Mike McCallum. He chased the fights with Duran, Hearns, Leonard, and Hagler for years, and they all avoided him. McCallum was that dangerous and that good. Charlie Burley, most avoided. They didn't want to fight him. Who was it? Who ducked Charlie Burley? Was it Robinson?
Sugar Ray Robinson.
Fucking ducked him, bro. But now let me tell you something. Now this is why I am kind to the boxers. This is why I sympathize, right? I'm gonna say this. Yes, Floyd didn't fight Margarito. I'm not gonna call Margarito a boogeyman off of that. I'm gonna say Floyd never fought Margarito or P. Will. He didn't. Sugar Ray Robinson, the poster child for the pound for pound. He never fought Charlie Burley, but is he not a pound for pound fighter? Is he not a great fighter because of one fight that he didn't have? You want me to be mad at Canelo over Andre? And look, I like Andre, but I can't be mad at Canelo. This is ridiculous. It's Kovalev, Smith, Saunders, then Plant, and he squeezed in a little Avni Yildirim. Like, I just got to keep my shit sharp because I'm about to.
And let's be real. Like, none of these fighters are ducking. It's just you don't have the leverage to get that man in the ring.
No. Look, some of them. Let's be real.
No, yeah, we'll be real. Yes,
this
the
is
PBC welters.
It is some ducking.
But I'm talking about like Sugar Ray, even Floyd with Williams and Marguerite. They didn't have the leverage to get him in the ring.
It's with Margarito. To me, it's simple. All right, you had the Shane fight, and Shane fucked you up, and then who got the fight after that? Fucking Shane got the fucking fight. Maybe if you the one, maybe. You know, if we gonna speculate, then I'm gonna speculate. Hey, maybe Margo would have got the fucking fight.
And by that time, Floyd was already on record saying, "I'm not gonna fight the toughest fight. I'm gonna fight the biggest fight for the most money."
If Margo would have beat Shane, hey, maybe that would have been a big fight.
It would have been big money, yes.
Maybe, you know what I mean? My thing is,
but I'm saying, just as far as I'm concerned, like Canelo with what he's achieved, he can retire right now, and he's good. He's good.
I'm not shitting on Andre Ward. I'm not shitting on him. But what I'm gonna say is that Ward, you retired after 2 divisions. You didn't, and the body of work, and I don't want it to sound like I'm shitting on Ward. I really don't. But what I'm saying,
I'll do it.
Nah, don't do it, Drew. Because Tim Bradley.
I'm from the Bay Area, so you go and then I'll go.
I'm gonna say this. All I'm gonna say, Ward had a great career. People would be lucky to have half the success that Andre had. But, all right, he didn't do a lot at light heavy. Like, you feel me? You didn't do a lot. You fought Sergey, and Sergey had 3 of the belts. So you only had to go to 1 guy. Canelo had to go to 3 guys.
Wait, was that Adonis Stevenson who had the belt?
No,
Well,
but
Adonis had the WBC.
Yeah.
Okay, right, yeah.
Andre Ward's career is a good Hall of Fame career. There's nothing iconic about his career. I'm not going to put on say, oh, let's watch that Ward fight. I can get to a fucking 60, 70 fights before I get to an all-time great Ward fight. He didn't want to go to fucking Canada to fight Butte. He didn't want to go nowhere. He wanted the American public to spoil him, and he got pissed off when the game moved on from him after them 2 years out. Andre Ward has no iconic moments in boxing. In terms of where you're going to stop the TV and like, let's watch that replay for a fight from 30 years ago.
I mean,
look,
go ahead, Leo.
I think Andre Ward is not being honest with himself because, okay, Canelo is Mexican. He has, people think by default has a huge fan base. It's not.
It's not.
Hard work, dedication, chasing the big fights, chasing big names, and also, and most importantly for the fans and the casuals, having a fan-friendly style.
Yes. Because they think, I see a guy left this comment, right? This one right here that the dude left me the other day, right? This one. This is the kind of comment to where motherfuckers think that, oh, he only doing what he doing because he got the clout. Yeah, he got the clout, but what did he do to get the clout? That's the part you not addressing. How did he get the clout? Because he didn't just, every guy from Mexico don't got clout. Zerto don't got no clout. Leo Santa Cruz ain't got no clout. Huh? You guys ain't got no clout. What you talking about?
Canelo been about 13, 14, he been fighting grown fucking men.
Ain't that the truth, though?
Yeah.
Ain't that the motherfucking truth? The reason Canelo has the clout to do things on his terms, you know why? It's not complicated. It's very simple. He fought the fights. Win or lose, he fought Floyd. Close or not, he fought Lara. Puerto Rico versus Mexico, quintessential fight. He had that fight. There was a boogeyman. He fought him. Feel how you feel, but he did fight him. You know what I mean? Feel how you feel about the first fight. I think he lost the first fight. A lot of people feel he lost the first fight, but at least
got his ass kicked the first fight.
To me,
and I'm Mexican.
But at least he fucking fought. The guys that these cats fuck with won't even fight the goddamn fight. Won't even fight. Errol won't fight Crawford. He won't fight him. Jamal won't fight Demetrius. He won't fight him. And you wondering why Canelo
it goes back to what you're saying, Jules. It's indicative of how Americans are now. Regardless of all the bullshit politics, racism, American men in the 50s and 60s and 70s, we're not acting like no little bitches like this now. Especially boxers. Especially boxers.
This is why I say this a lot, right? Boxing to me is the best microcosm for life because it is so relatable, even the way that things have changed. The consensus mentality these days for what is permissible was not permissible when I was young. This clout chasing wave that I'm gonna do anything to get attention, I'm gonna say anything to get attention, no matter how stupid, that didn't go on. That did not go on. People respected themselves too much for that to go on. These people today don't respect themselves.
The Charlos acting like this, if there was fighters in the 50s, would have got murked.
Bruh.
Tank acting like they would have got smoked.
Look, Canelo, that there is something that I like about Canelo. Look, after the Floyd fight, if it wasn't me, if it's me fighting Floyd Mayweather and losing in that fashion, I go a whole year, a whole
Yeah.
year,
Yeah.
a
You
whole
see,
year.
and also, yeah,
Doing,
Leo, you're right because
look,
that's what I like about Canelo too. Because like after that Floyd defeat, he didn't mope, he didn't sob. He took that and used that as fuel to make himself a better fighter.
Fucking
look,
Fort Lara.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
go a
yeah, yeah.
whole
He didn't have
year.
to do that. Who asked him to do that?
The
I
thing
get
lost that they get lost on, like he got better because he kept fighting. He's active.
Yes.
You don't get
look,
better. You
look,
practice in sparring. You practice in the gym. You get better in the fight.
Go
look,
ahead, Leo.
look. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. loses against Maravilla Martinez. What happens next? Downhill from that.
Mm-hmm.
He can. He doesn't train. Losing fights. Smoking weed. Getting fat. If you have to rebound, rebound. But you have to understand, no, not everyone can do that shit.
Well, look,
Not
I
everyone.
said this. I said this in my last award winning. No, it wasn't my last award winning video. It was the video before that, right? There's legacy fighters, right? Because they have the ability to have a legacy. They have that ability because not all fighters are created equal. Some are better than others, and some are special, right? Floyd was special. Manny was special. Canelo was special. Ward, I know that y'all was just ragging on him, but he's special. He's one of the special ones. Not everybody has the ability to be more than just a prize fighter. I don't knock the prize fighters that's out there fighting for the prize and nothing. I'm not knocking that. It's that with fighters like Tank, they want you to believe that he's a no. You're not a you just a prize fighter, bro. You just that's all you are, and that's cool.
And
But
that's cool.
don't sit here try to tell me that he's not it. I know
And
who's it, and it ain't him.
yeah, and like you said, there's even different levels of the Hall of Fame. There's different tiers of fighters, and everybody's in a Hall of Fame. But there's a penthouse that some fighters ain't never in.
That's look that Robinson, that Leonard, that Duran. Look, I'm not gonna ask every fucking fighter to beat him. I know
Them
that.
guys got over 100 fights.
I'm not gonna ask every fighter to beat it. I know that there's tiers and there's everybody's not gonna be. That's cool, and I know that some decisions are financial decisions. For example, you could say that Joe Smith ducked. You could say that he ducked better beef, but for a guy like Joe, who not that long ago was working at a construction site, just got a world title. He just had a close fight with a real big fucking cruiserweight that cut it down to 170. I understand, bro. I understand why you want to fight Danny Jacobs. I get it. I really do. Because that's your bread and butter. That's not my bread and butter. That's your bread and butter. You the one that got to go out there and get hit. So I dig it that, look, before I go in there with this big old man, you know what I mean? I'm going to fight Danny Jacobs because I get some money. I'm going to fight Salamov because I get some money. Then maybe I'll do it. Now, if a motherfucker tell me that he ducked better beef, I'm not gonna argue with you. You're right. I'm not gonna argue with you. You're right. He did. But I understand it. I'm not heartless. I get it. But when you get but the difference between PBC and a lot of other shit is they try to tell you that, oh no, Errol is pound for pound. Errol is pound for pound. No, he's not. He's just a prize fighter. That's all he is.
No.
That is
And
all
like
he
you
is.
said, Jules, like the difference, all the eras is different. But the one thing they had in common with the greats is every great dude that's in the Hall of Fame, they had a reign in their division like a king. And they defended their crown more than once. Yeah, Hagler might have lost the decision to Leonard, but he reigned in that division. Duran reigned in his division. Finito Lopez, all these dudes had stuck their flag in the ground and said, "Come get me." What's up?
The shit is that, and I think that a lot of that just sucker shit is about to be dead. Like I do think that the sucker era, because there was this is the sucker era a little bit in certain weight classes, and I think that's gonna be over because that crop of fighters is all quasi retired. Keith hasn't fought in 2 going on 3 years, right? Errol has fought only once in the last 2 years when December gets here. You know what I mean? Danny Garcia has not fought this year at all. You know what I mean? Broner, who cares? I mean, like he did fight, but who cares, right? A lot of the guys that was supposed to be the guys. They on their way out. And it's a new breed of motherfuckers, a new line of young motherfuckers that want to beat the shit out of somebody. And this is in there. Ortiz is in there. Conor Benn, he want to beat the shit out of somebody. It's new guys coming through. Butayev beat the shit out of Jamal J. New guys is coming through. You know what I mean? So I think that the PBC's influence on boxing was very negative the last couple of years. I think that, but that is coming to an end anyway. Wilder, you just got your ass beat for the second time. How many more fights you got? You one ass whooping away from the retirement home.
Yeah, how many fights did that beating take off his career? How many years? How many more years did that shave off?
Exactly.
One fight, two fights.
You in 2 years. In the last 2 years, you got the shit beaten out of you 2 times. The last time was worse because you wanted to go out on your shit. All right, motherfucker. All right. That's what you want. That's what you're gonna get.
You're about to ring quick question, like about Wilder's next opponent. I think it's either going to be Andy Ruiz or Robert Helenius. Who do you think will go with?
Helenius. I believe it's
Helenius.
I believe it's Helenius. Andy is for the end of the year.
Yeah.
Because Andy fuck around gonna fight. Andy gonna fuck around fight Charles Martin or Luis Ortiz in his next fight.
Yeah.
Fuck around. He gonna fight one of them.
Yeah, and depends.
Ortiz.
Ortiz. Yeah. I was thinking about Andy Ruiz. No, Ortiz.
Ortiz is probably it because
time.
Ortiz is an old ass motherfucker. You know what I mean? He an old ass motherfucker, and he need another payday. You know what I mean? I don't know if we're gonna get a better Andy because the last Andy that we saw looked kind of shaky, but that's normal. Oscar looked shaky his first fight with Reynoso. It took 2-3 fights or something like that before he really came together. I figure that might happen with Andy. I mean, we'll see. But I do think it's gonna be Ortiz for Andy, and I do think it's gonna be Robert Helenius for Wilder. I do think that.
And both pay-per-view fights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
And I'm not buying either of them shits.
I ain't either.
I'm not buying either of them shits.
Julius?
Both those guys are out of their prime. Wilder got the prime beat out of him, and Errol Spence got the accident prime beat out of him.
It's more like if I wanted to watch Robert Helenius get knocked out, I don't gotta pay $80 to see that. I could fucking go to YouTube and watch the Duopa fight to watch him get knocked out.
I mean, speaking of Earl, I saw him after he was at the playing Canelo fight. He did not look good, man. I don't know if he's been drinking or just he's getting old, aging overnight.
He's not living like a fighter.
He ain't. I mean, that's a shame. It really is.
Well, look, I mean, in 2017, and I know this might surprise a lot of people, but in 2017, I was very high on Errol. I was high on the Charlo brothers. I thought they was going to do big things. I still think Jamel is still my guy. To me, he is doing big things because he's a unified champion. A lot of guys ain't going to really get to say that. And he's lineal. He's not just a guy with a belt or a guy with some belts. He's lineal. He got the Ring Magazine championship, right?
Yeah, so Melly Mel's the only one that has the Hall of Fame resume from there or working on it.
Yeah, so to me,
him and Casado need to run that back.
I mean, they do, but the politics is getting in the way. Feel me? The politics is getting in the way.
Oh, you know, no, he got to run. They don't want that Costa Zoo problem. Costa Zoo's gonna take that belt from Castano. Watch.
Now, the way the shit is now, I like those. In 2017, I liked Errol. In 2017, I even like Jamal. I can't stand Jamal now, but in 2017, I like Jamal. The J-Rock fight was when 2016.
Yeah, I was at that fight. I was still going to USC at that time. I was ringside.
It was, and I thought, you know, I had a very high opinion of Jamal at that time. I didn't have that high of an opinion on Mel, but I wasn't really trashing him either because he pulled it out in the Jackson fight. Jackson was giving some problems, but he knocked his ass out. So over time, in other words, I gave them cats a chance to show me something. In 2016, I was very hard on Canelo. I was very hard on the Khan fight, even the Smith fight. I didn't even want to give him props for the fucking Smith fight, the Liam Smith, the WBO at 50. I was hard on Canelo, but he won me over. By doing what? Having the fights. That's what it takes. Have the fights. Because at the end of the day, for all this arguing that we doing, the fans want fights. That's what they want.
And they mismatched Jamal Charlo after that J-Rock so bad. That was a highlight reel knockout, and he didn't get back in the ring for another 9-10 months after that.
Well, I mean that's how they do this shit. The dude, like, look, Gary has the Nyambaya yard fight, and they don't set shit up. They don't set nothing up for this dude after that. Like, it's Nyambaya, and then that's it. We just not gonna have you doing shit for a long ass time. He coming up on 2 years. We actually closer to 2 years of inactivity because the Nyambaya fight was in February of last year. Now we only maybe 4 months away from February of next year. Remember, we're in November now. November, December, January, February.
See, because I mean, like, it baffles me still to like how Gary
I just
turned
want to
down
know
that,
when Gary Russell gonna get stripped.
I mean, it just baffles me like how he turned down that Josh Warrington offer. See, that tells me that clearly that wasn't a choice he made.
Let me tell you.
So he was ordered to turn that down.
Tell you what, Jay. What baffles me is how Eddie Chambers was capping for that dude on Twitter. People ducking. What you mean, people ducking?
When was this? When was this?
This was yesterday, bro. He was like, "Oh, why nobody pushing for Gary to unify?" What you mean nobody pushing for Gary to unify? He the one that turned down the fight.
A lot of people.
Gary turned. He said it was beneath him to fight for a mill.
That's what he said. So it's beneath you to fight for a mill so that you don't make a mill because you didn't fight since you turned down that fight.
You ain't done shit.
In the time you turned down that mill, you could have went over there, beat Josh, get 2 belts, come back over here in time to satisfy your mandatory. And this is the other shit, the illusion that this motherfucker ain't nobody ducking shit. These motherfuckers don't be wanting these opportunities.
Julius,
ain't nobody ducking shit.
Julius, I don't remember a fighter, a world champion, who only fights a mandatory. He's mandatory once a year.
That's how he do it.
I never see. At least he's injured or something. That I can see him fighting once a year. But you are healthy. You are in your prime, quote unquote, and you are fighting once a year. I never see something like that.
Well, the other thing about it is, look, a lot of people and a lot of the time, they go to the powers that be, right? But I look at Better Beef's situation. Better Beef did not like the level of activity that he was on with Yvonne Michelle. So he fought to get away from Yvonne Michelle. And eventually he did. And then I look at Gary and I'm like, man, you've been on this schedule for 5 or 6 years now. You like this schedule. You don't want to fight. So when you don't fight and people don't give a fuck about you and don't talk about you, when I actually see somebody capping for you, I'm be like, yo, you wildin', B. That dude don't want to be talked about. How could you a featherweight, first off, which is already bad in America because Americans typically don't watch the lighter weights. They really don't. Anything below lightweight, they start to get confused. Really. It's only now that you got young fighters like Shakur and all these different young guys that they actually watch in these smaller weights because characteristically, below 135, a lot of Americans don't watch those weights. So you got a featherweight. They already don't watch featherweight like that. You only
goddamn Americans, man.
I'm saying you only fight once a year. Who is going to be checking for you? Who? You don't even have a buzz. Like, you have no buzz. And I'm not saying, I'm not like saying that like, oh, I'm trying not. No, I'm saying when motherfuckers think about exciting fights, they don't think about you.
Hey, no, but didn't Gary knock down Terrence Crawford though? Didn't he snuff Terrence though?
In the it's corny to see a grown-ass man who's a professional fighter in possession of a world title going down memory lane for something interesting to say. The interesting shit that you should be saying is about your next fight.
What had me cracking up about that is how like hella people came out and recanted his story. When
who came out? Too Sharp came out.
Too Sharp came out. Yup. And
it was like 3 fucking people that came out like, nah, that's not what happened. B, like Terrence would have fucked him up, man. Like, you wildin'. Like,
what did Too Sharp say? Talking about like, hey Gary, I'll come out of retirement and beat your bitch ass in front of your daddy. No man.
Oh, shit. Like, man, all I know is a lot of these situations are self-inflicted wounds.
All I want to know, Jules, is when you gonna get that Peacoat Levi denim,
I might get a
like
fucking
TD Jakes had.
listen, B. I'm gonna
You probably
get
got a secret closet of them shits, huh? Like
I got a denim Batman suit, B, with pockets on the face. It's a zipper on that shit. Put drugs in there.
So you need the all white denim like the White Ranger, huh?
Real shit with the Bengal tiger. But I'm like, yo, look, man. All I know is motherfuckers need to stop hating on Canelo. It's no reason. Like, I guess what gets me is, look, talk about the ped shit, right? I just argued with a dude a few hours ago in the comments under a video. He was talking about the ped shit, right? Because he was trying to say that the WBC stripped Benavidez to give the belt to Canelo. And it's like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Are you slow? That dude sniffed coke and they took the belt from him. Then they gave him a chance. They actually gave him a chance. Like, you know what? We're going to put you in there with Darrell. Let you win the belt back. He wins the belt back. It's Canelo's fault that he blew the weight. Did Canelo shove the coke in his nose too?
I just read this asinine article where like this. I mean, well, I think that Boxing News 24, that site probably needs to be taken down.
I think so.
Because like the one guy's on, so he's completely.
Was it Chris Williams?
Oh,
God, that dumbass. No, it wasn't Chris Williams. It was some other genius. I don't remember his name.
Probably Phil J. If it wasn't Chris Williams, probably Phil J.
They probably using aliases on there. It's probably the same dude using aliases. I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, but just one guy he's completely dismissing, what Canelo did, saying Demetrius Andrade would beat him, all this nonsense. And like, and it's funny because I'm thinking like, okay, Callum Smith, like, all right, so you could dismiss him if you want, but he just starched Lenny Castillo in 2 rounds, a guy who had never been stopped, had been the distance with Bivol Brown, and this guy, he was just pretty much saying like, oh yeah, Demetrius will beat him. He needs to fight these guys to prove himself. I'm like, what the hell? To prove himself?
Do you know why that gets me angry? Because I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why it gets me angry. Whoever wrote that is not a boxing fan. Because if you know about Demetrius, you know that little ass Jack Colquet from Germany/Ecuador gave Demetrius one hell of a fight. And Jack Colquet is no Canelo Alvarez.
He barely won. He won by split decision.
We just saw. Now, I'm not knocking Demetrius. If he can get the opportunity, I'll watch the fight.
I'd love to see it personally. Me too.
I'm not against him getting the opportunity. I'm just saying, don't tell me that he's special. No, he's not special. Not special.
You know what I noticed? He never beat a champion for a belt.
I'm not knocking him. I'm not
knocking him either. But I'm just saying. I never knew that. Yeah.
I know. I'm just saying that he got to me. I got a soft spot for him because I know they ducking him. Like I know, like bro, Gennadi's your stablemate, but he don't want nothing to do. And once again, I'm not unsympathetic. I get it. You're old. Ryota Murata's for more money, and it's still a unit. I get it. I understand.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? I mean, like Demetrius, he may not have had his big coming out party yet, but how old was Bernard Hopkins when he had his? When he beat Trinidad?
Oh shit! Hold on, I got some intel. Liam Rockwell says Breedis isn't fighting Okoli next. Rumors out here is that Breedis versus Opataya is happening February-March in a big stadium fight in Sydney. I knew, Liam, I knew that Opataya had a fight because I mentioned it in a video that he's the guy who's most in line for Mavis Breedis. So is Opataya gonna have a fight before the Breedis fight? Let me find out that Mavis Breedis is ducking Okoli.
Oh no, he not. I know he. Oh, he better not.
You know what? You know what I'm seeing from here? Gold feet.
Me too. He called. Look, he called out Jake Paul, and he was dead ass. He called out Jake Paul. He fucking posted a meme.
I couldn't believe that shit.
Of him and Canelo
That's the
Alvarez.
cash cow, baby. Jake Paul. The Capricorn cash cow.
Drew, who you picking? Paul or Fury? Who you got?
I got to roll with the Capricorn, bro. I don't want to. I mean, but Jake Paul more active than the top 10 pound for pound.
I mean, look, Jake, if we going to be real, listen, if we going to be real, and I know y'all going to think I'm capping, Jake Paul looked better in his last fight.
You
And
ain't
tell me-
lying. You ain't lying. You ain't lying.
I'm just
You ain't lying.
keeping it real with y'all.
You ain't
That
lying.
who looked better in their last 2 fights, Jake Paul or
Ring.
Tommy Fury?
Ring, I'm gonna tell you this. Tommy better win that fucking fight. If he doesn't,
Bro,
oh
if he
my
don't-
God.
if he
Jules,
don't-
are we gonna get Fury in the ring, or is he gonna retire?
I have the I don't believe the white fight will happen. I'm going to tell you that. I don't believe it'll happen. I don't know if Fury's going to retire because he could get franchised. But what I don't believe is that the fight will happen. I don't believe the fight will. I would love to be wrong.
Expect Fury to retire, if I'm being honest.
I'm expecting him to get franchised and wait for the winner of Joshua versus Usyk. That's what I'm expecting.
I just want my man Usyk to get his shot at undisputed and retire.
Me too.
Top 10 heavyweight of all time.
I believe that if Usyk wins, Fury retires. There's no money in that fight.
By the way, Ring, another question. I saw a very troubling interview with Teofimo Lopez today. He was pretty much off his damn rocker. He's lost his mind. He said something that was very disturbing. He said that he blamed the networks for the Kambosos fight not happening.
Look. Me and Drew been all through this, all right? And the truth is the truth is the truth. You wanted to jump ahead of the gun. You had the promotional machine of ESPN and Top Rank behind you, but you didn't want to go through the channels. You want a big purse for what ain't a big fight. Well, guess what? Look, you have the purse that you wanted. It's more than Top Rank would have got you, but it costed you a lot of time. That is your fault. That all of that is your fault. That Top Rank would have did.
He
this
jumped
fight.
the gun. He over here like he a young pup. He trying to cut out the man and go straight to Sosa. Like he didn't go through his Tony Montana stage. He think he can go to Sosa right now. That's how we acting. I was high on T.O. And then I was high even after the first bit. I'm like, yeah, he gets money.
I'm saying it now. I'm gonna tell you now. It's like
that dude is lost. And
I've had it with him and his dad. I hope Kambosos wins. I'm saying that now.
Yo, look, Jay.
I don't think he'd recover from that mentally if Kambosos won.
Good, I don't care.
I'm gonna be real with you, Jay, and I'm gonna be real with you.
I gotta check on Punch if that happens too.
I'm not even gonna say nothing bad about Punch. He just, all I'm gonna say is if that shit happens, I'm gonna laugh for 3 days. Straight. 3 days is gonna be me live laughing and
I
dying.
can't wait to see what Ellerby says after that.
Oh God, that's
Smellerby. Oh jeez.
The reason
if Theo loses, he's gonna get ran through the ringer.
Bro, if he loses, that would undermine what he went, and I don't want that to happen. He beat Comey, he went through the channels, he made a fucking mistake, but he just acting so weird. Did you
after really win? I mean, it's like
you really go to Canelo's fight with your belts?
He's lost his mind. He's lost his damn mind.
Lost his mind. Bro, if I'm going to the fight, I'm not going to bring. Remember,
it was show and tell.
If that was me.
It was show and tell.
Fellas, if I was Canelo and he came up, I'm like, get the fuck. What the hell are you doing?
Bro, and because Canelo's a cool cat, cash money.
Canelo's not an asshole. You
He's
start
not an
speaking Spanish to him. You're a young fighter. He's like, come here, mijo. Come here, mijo.
That's why I fuck with Canelo, because I wanted people to. This is one thing I like about Canelo, right? He actually bridged the gap by starting to just speak English, because now people see the swag. That's the swag that you only really saw.
He's increased his fan
Jules,
base.
don't you think, Jules, Canelo loves boxing more than Floyd, more than Manny? He loves.
I'm not going to say that.
The whole game.
I'm not going. They cut from the same cloth. I'm not going to say that.
No, they cut from the same cloth. But in terms of, he actually loves the pugilism of growing the sport, seeing the young fighters.
I believe
leaving a legacy to bring the next Canelo up.
I believe that they have had. This is what and I'm not capping. I'm not making excuses for nobody. But the experiences that we have as individuals are part of what molds our character. I believe that Floyd, to some degree, he had a precedence for being the way that he was. That look, if I sit here and be the good guy and all of that, y'all not going to accept me being a good guy. Just being the young, talented fighter, because I was that, and motherfuckers wouldn't give me the time of day. I dig that. Like, yeah, man, if you got to turn heel on them, turn heel on them, because they not.
It worked. That shit worked. It worked.
So I dig that, and I get that. For Manny got love. You know what I mean? Like Manny got love, right? But this is the weird thing, right? And to this day, motherfuckers will bring up how Floyd fought Canelo at a catchweight. All right, cool. That bothers you. I dig it, right? I dig it. But Manny fought Margo at a catchweight for a junior middleweight title.
And at the end of the day, all these fighters, they got choices to accept to these terms. They can choose not to. I mean,
let me highlight it. Let me highlight it. That you can't sit here and tell me that bothers you so much that Floyd fought Canelo at a catchweight. Manny fought Margo at a catchweight, bro. And don't say, oh no, because he can't. Bro, it's the catchweight you talking about, bro. You saying that? Oh, you couldn't catch the catchweight. He drained him. All right, well, he fucking drained Margarito. Then that's how it worked. Now,
what I'm speaking to is Canelo wants to put the sport in the next best hands. He wants to grow the sport.
Now, why?
Floyd says that we're going to keep everything in house. Canelo wants to go around the world box, go to England box,
and I'm gonna tell
grow
you,
the actual sport.
Let me tell you. This is the thing, right? Canelo had the privilege of coming through while Floyd and Manny were there, and I believe that subliminally, subconsciously, he draws from both. You a horrible fighter. That's Floyd, B. But when he embracing the crowd and he doing the thing and the young fighters, that's Manny. That's what I believe, because he came up through both. While he was coming through, they was doing their thing, the both of them. And I believe that he draws from. He don't talk bad about Floyd, bro. He don't. It's respect. Because I believe losing that fight was the best thing for him. Best thing for him. It helped make him who he is, right? And that he cool. He got swag. He'll curse you out. He'll make you feel bad. He'll make people laugh at you like Floyd would. But he's gracious like Manny. Best of both worlds.
Speaking of which, fantasy fight, Manny versus Canelo, who wins?
All right, what weight?
Welterweight.
Nah, I mean, there's no point. I'm gonna tell you why it don't make sense, right? Usually, fantasy fights, the stage for a fantasy fight is both fighters at their best, and it's kind of like when people bring up Roy and Hagler. You know, yeah, Roy was at middleweight but that wasn't prime Roy. You know what I mean? Like that wasn't, and that wasn't prime Canelo at welter. You know, like you want to see the prime guy. So a fight that makes sense is Canelo Calzaghe. That's a fight that makes sense.
That was like when Maravilla fought Margarito. That was in prime Maravilla at 147 against Margarito.
Look, I'm gonna keep it real with you, and I don't live in the moment. I'm analytical by nature. I'm a facts guy. Canelo might be the greatest super middleweight that ever fought, and I'm not capping.
Jules,
I'm not. Now I'm gonna say this, right? A lot of people was starting, and I'm not trying to knock Andre Ward, but I'm just being real with you. Don't sell me the dream that Ward is invincible at that way. He got dropped by Darnell Boone. I didn't.
You see that? You see that?
I seen that shit.
He was all over the place.
I seen that shit. So don't sell me the bullshit. Now everybody wants to undermine Canelo Alvarez's undisputed run because it had 2 UK fighters, 2 Euro fighters. And what the fuck? All right, so what? Canadian
Arthur
fighters?
Abram, Carl Froch.
That's what I mean, bro. So because he fought guys from the UK. What about Ward? One of his biggest wins is Carl Froch.
The Kovalev that beat Hopkins would have knocked out Ward. That was Kovalev's. That was prime Kovalev. After that, he went downhill. He didn't give a fuck no more. I beat the guy.
I hate the double standards, Drew. I hate that. That's all I'm saying. And what I see in Canelo is probably one guy in the whole division that gives him a decent fight. One. Benavidez. That's it.
I agree.
Now let's be real. There's only 2 fights on Canelo's resume where you tell he lost. That was Floyd and the first Triple G fight.
Mm-hmm.
If depending on how Triple G looks against Murata, I still think he has enough fundamentals and ability to not get knocked out by Canelo. He'll lose.
He's gonna get fucking knocked out, Drew.
But I think he has enough chin and ability to survive, depending on how he looks in December.
I'm trying to tell you, he's not. Look. That ain't gonna be no catchweight fight. You coming up to 68 to fight for what I got, and he'll do it. for the money, for the bread. He'll do it. He'll get knocked out. He'll get knocked out. I'm
Honestly,
telling
be
you
shocked
now.
if he doesn't, because like I remember the Zarameta fight, he actually showed a lot of defense. He didn't get hit clean in that fight, if I recall.
Against Ceramata.
Dele.
Okay.
No, but like Jules said, old Triple G from Europe, his defenses was solid. Before he got with Angel. I mean, before he got with what's his name? Abel.
Abel Sanchez, right?
Trent Broadhurst went to cruiserweight. Wow. For those that don't know, Trent Broadhurst is a guy that Bivol fought at light heavyweight.
Oh.
Hot battle.
Wait. Look, don't forget the second Canelo Alvarez versus Triple G. Triple G was gassing.
Yes.
It was breathing from his mouth. You can tell it was very difficult for him to compete, to stay away from Canelo. He did it. He didn't stay on the ropes and anything, but he was struggling.
Remember the Steve Rose fight, Leo. Remember the Steve Rose? Steve got through with 1 or 2 jabs that snapping his head back.
After that Triple G knocked him out, right?
Yeah, but that fight, the Triple G versus Canelo 3 fight, it's not gonna happen now, this year. If it happens next year, in the second half of the next year, or maybe in 2023.
Maybe.
At that time, Triple G is gonna be old.
He's gonna be old and he's gonna get knocked out. I'm telling you. George says, hold on, let me read the super chat. George says, sometimes everyone, myself included, put too much importance on asterisks. P.S. Fantasy fight, Carlos Monzon versus Canelo at... Ooh.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah.
Woo! Monzon at 160. Monzon. I go Monzon. Because I believe this is prime Canelo, and this is 168 Canelo. Like if we're gonna say, like prime, and I don't mean it in terms of anatomical prime, biological prime. I mean this is the best I've ever seen Canelo. Right? This is his prime, like light heavyweight Roy. That's where he is now. 160 Canelo, good fight. Don't get me wrong, good fighter. But I think Monzon and Hagler beat him at 160. I do think that they beat him at 160.
Oh yeah,
Prime Roy stops Andre Ward.
Oh, that's you ain't saying shit
at 68 and 75.
You ain't saying shit.
Ring, I got one for you. James Toney is super middleweight versus Canelo now.
It's hard to bet against James. It's very hard. He's one of my favorite fighters.
Is James coming motivated and in shape?
It's just look, you talking about a fighter that is not afraid to fight in the pocket, that has a chin, that has legitimate knockout power. It's a different fight. It's not a lot of James Tonys in the world, bro. It ain't.
Let's say the James that showed up that fought Iran Barkley.
Saying like, what do you want, Jay? What the fuck you want?
Hey, I'm telling you this.
I want you to say it, bro.
The Duran that fought Hagler and Barkley beat Canelo and Triple G at 160.
Oh, come on.
Okay.
The Duran that went 15 rounds with Hagler can go fucking toe to toe with Canelo and Triple G at 160. Jules, stop it.
Drew, let's meet in the middle. He'll beat Cotto. Can we?
Stop it, Jules.
He'll beat Cotto. What do you want? He'll beat Cotto.
I agree. I think he would.
He'll beat Cotto.
Look. For me,
Duran would be undisputed at 154.
Guys like
right now.
I'm not gonna talk about James Toney in that way, but let's talk about Billy Joe Sanders, Caleb Plant, Demetrius Andrade. If your safe place in the ring goes to bending your waist and charging all your weight in your lead foot, you're not beating Canelo. No, the gimmick is out. You can do that with the other guys. Canelo has all these guys figured out. All of them.
Compare their bodies of work, Battle. Just compare their bodies of work. It's not complicated. I like Joe Calzaghe, for example, right? I like Joe Calzaghe, and I give him credit for the Hopkins win. I give him credit for that. I don't say he's too old. I give him credit for the Roy win. I give him credit for those victories. But I think Canelo could beat him. Honestly, and I'm not capping. I think he could beat him. It's not far fetched. He's running through these guys, man. He's running through these guys. And now what do they want him to do? Did they want Joe to go up there and beat everybody at light heavyweight? Y'all want Canelo to do that because that's what you think of him. You think he should be up there if that's what you want. So yeah, I think he'll do all right.
And then they're gonna want him to go to cruiserweight.
Yeah, they're gonna be happy until he gets knocked out because that's what they really want. And they don't understand that if he fights,
Canelo himself shut that down. He said, "I can't go to cruiserweight." He said that in an interview I think with Ellie Segback when he was talking to him. He's like, "No, that's too much for me."
Canelo has already, and people don't think as fast as we do. I think, right? I don't think they do, but Canelo has already endeared himself to the fans. He gave Mexico their first undisputed champion in the 4-belt era. That's history, bro.
As far as I'm concerned, he calls it a career. Hey, bro, best of luck to you. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you decide to do.
Because I've seen guys call it a career with less fights than him.
Yeah.
He wants his UK
Canelo,
fight.
And don't
he
forget
wants Eddie to get him a UK fight.
Don't forget, most of these guys
Callum Smith for the belt at 175. Or
most of these guys have retired with a lot of less money than Canelo.
Yeah, but it's the career, and this is, look, I'm gonna say this, right. I'm a hard worker by nature, right. That's part of my character. That speaks to me, the people that work hard and do their thing, because it's my nature to work hard at things that I do. So I see everything that he's done. He's a 4-division champion. He's an undisputed champion, unified at middleweight, lineal in both, but he was also a champion at junior middleweight. He was also a champion at light heavyweight. And I'm like, yo, get the fucking burden off of him and put it on these fucking hype jobs. Jamal Charlo's 31, and so is Canelo. But Jamal is physically bigger than Canelo. So where's the burden, yo? Where's the burden?
Keep the same energy, make it make sense.
Like, I hate shit like yo, dog. He has more physical advantages than him because he's taller. There's more room to grow into the weight. You got more height, you got more reach. But what we supposed to just let you fight Montiel, right? Fuck it. You can't even fight a goddamn Eubank. It's fucking insane what they letting these guys get away with. So that we can keep pressing Canelo. Yo, go fight back. No, Canelo, you chill. Go fuck your wife a couple of times, bust a couple nuts, make some more kids. You got the money.
No, Canelo earned his Jake Paul fight.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, maybe.
And I wouldn't even be mad. I'd buy that fight.
Jake Paul called about it, so.
As far as I'm concerned, whatever Canelo does at this point, I can't criticize it because no other active fighter is doing what he's doing on the schedule that he's doing. None
Less
of them.
than a year.
So Canelo's earned him a stay busy and a couple cherries.
I don't. I got with you with that. Don't talk to me about these guys that their biggest win is, he beat Julian. And Julian Williams is your biggest win. That's your biggest win? Enough. And I don't give a shit. Like, remember, the motherfuckers that argue this goofy shit, they are not consumers of this product. They don't buy. You can sit there and talk about it and make videos about it, but you and I both know you don't shell out no bread for Charlo fights, because when Charlo did have a pay-per-view, that motherfucker couldn't crack 200,000.
When Charlo's had an open workout in Houston, nobody showed up. That's your city.
And were the next fights on pay-per-view?
No, they've only ever been on pay-per-view. This is why I say that, like, yo, I gotta remember when I'm on Twitter. And I gotta remember when I'm on social media that for one guy that wants to argue, bro, you don't represent shit. Because the reality is, if there was a demand for this fighter, he would have did more than just 100,000 on pay-per-view. There's no demand for the shit you talking about. Now, if Canelo want to fight Charlo, hey, go ahead. I got Charlo getting knocked the fuck out. That's what I got.
Me
That's
too.
why I hope he get the fight. So we could just end the speculation. Like, I want you to watch this shit.
If that fight happens, I'm coming to watch it personally.
You know what I mean?
I'm at the ringside.
Or fight, because you know what's gonna happen fight week. Everybody gonna change. Man, he probably gonna knock Canelo out. I mean, he probably gonna knock Charlo out because he got stiff. But you wanted him to get the fight though. You wanted this, right? You wanted Charlo to get the fight.
See, that's why I couldn't understand. Like, you know, how Caleb was banging on about his Canelo's PEDs and stuff like that. Okay, well, like, why are you bringing that up now? It's not like you're about to pull out, are you?
That's what I mean. Like,
so what's the point of you even talking about it?
Take responsibility of the situation that you walking into. You want a Canelo fight, right? Then you got to take everything.
All right, gentlemen. The old lady's giving me that look.
Look,
Yeah, I'm about to call it a night.
You know that
too.
look. You know that look, Jules. The old lady giving me that look.
I know.
yeah, I remember this.
All right, fellas.
Reminds me that about Sean Porter and Terrence Crawford. I know I watched some comments and I am like, can you cut the shit, please? They are saying like shit like, but Sean Porter is already a semi-retired fighter. He's doing commentary. It's like, what? He had a fight after the Errol Spence fight. He's active. And you're already discrediting the kind of beating Terrence Crawford is going to...
I mean, hey, Leo, Terrence knows. Terrence knows. He knows.
It happened with Rigo. For 3 years, you had people hounding Lomachenko fight Rigo so that when he actually gives him the fight, you could turn around and fucking complain. Oh, no, I'm not going to get... Bro, you picked Rigo to break his jaw. And I swear to God, I was in the Facebook boxing groups when all of this was going on. I was in those groups real heavy. I saw, he gonna break his jaw like he broke Amagasa's jaw. He gonna do Loma like he. All right. I got you. You got Rigo winning a fight, so that the week of the fight you could turn bitch. Oh, he lit. Like yo, dog. Like who raised you to be like that, yo?
And ringing like what some of the excuses like? Oh, he came up 2 weight classes.
But that's what you want.
Wait a minute. Like okay, so if that's the excuse you would use. Why'd you want the fight then?
Bingo.
Why'd you want the fight? If that's the reason you're going to use the complaint.
What they want some shit. They want some fairy tale shit. Like, nah, he should. Why should he meet him in the middle, motherfucker? You want what I got. You don't got nothing I want. I don't need a bantamweight title. I'm at super feather. If you want what I got, come up here and get it.
That's why that's kind of like with Teofimo Lopez and Josh Taylor. It's like that's why shout out to Josh Taylor for calling him and his dad out like the clowns that they are. Because like I personally see like Josh Taylor really has nothing to gain by fighting Teofimo Lopez other than taking his unbeaten record. Really, I mean that's a step backwards if you ask me.
I think that he really just want to beat the shit out of. Like I really.
Oh no, you heard him. He said if I get the chance, I'll happily slap him back down to earth. So
yeah, like I feel like Josh just want to fuck him up so that he could say I fucked you up.
And I'm capping for that fight. I hope he gets it.
I hope he get it.
I mean, but also, did you see like what his dad was talking after that belt shenanigan crap? This man actually said about like, oh yeah, but we undisputed, we did it first, so we're inspiring the greats. And I'm like, what the fuck did this dude just say?
Yo, look, his dad is Angel Garcia 2.0.
No, he's 4.0.
On that note, I'm gonna take my ass to sleep. Gentlemen, always a pleasure. See you on the next live.
Okay,
yes, sir, Ray.